How flexible are Eurosceptic MPs feeling at the moment? I mean, will you swallow a fudge from number 10?
No, we don't expect a fudge and we don't want a fudge. I just explained to you that the test of this is not about what we think, it's about how the unionist community in Northern Ireland thinks. But looking at the problem and talking to some of their representatives in Westminster, I cannot see how you can reach a comprehensive agreement which gets Stormont back and running unless you tackle this great big problem at the centre of it all, which is not a trade issue. It's the lack of democracy and the imposition of EU rules and laws. And if you take the trade issue, you do not need to have a border on entering Northern Ireland from GB for all the internal market trade for the United Kingdom. Again, that's quite wrong. A sausage should be able to go from a supermarket in Britain across to a supermarket branch in Belfast in the same way that it could be sent to a supermarket in Liverpool. There shouldn't need to be foreign trade type impositions of electronic paperwork on the movement of those goods within one of our large retail companies, for example. But that's what they're seeking to impose by this green and red lane proposal and with a border control on the way into Northern Ireland.
It's clear from what you've said, Sir John, that Brussels, the EU, are the barrier to a deal. How can we get this deal across the line? What do you think needs to happen?
Well, I think the best way is for the government to ask their lordships to get on with passing the piece of legislation which would solve the problem. Because I think as soon as the EU realised we were serious about doing that, they'd want to sit round the table with more sensible proposals than I think they've offered so far. I'd also be delighted to be proved wrong if I wake up tomorrow and discover there is a text and the EU has agreed to back off on legislating for Northern Ireland without any democracy, then we can go ahead and that would be wonderful.
Sir John, do you think that's likely?
I think it's very unlikely. Having watched the EU battle away to try and stop any kind of Brexit against the wishes of the British people, and knowing their position a few months ago when the government was trying to get an agreement, I'd be very surprised if they've made a major change. But as I say, if they have, I'll be one of the first to welcome it.